Hello. Today will be a teeny bit different. Well, actually quite a lot. It will differ quite a lot from the usual videos. Today I'm going to be doing some reading. Some soft whispered reading with some page turning. If you like page turning. And inaudible whispering. So, I do like to read some books for fun sometimes, but when life gets tough and you are busy most of the time, sometimes sitting down and reading is not the best option. It's just not the best option. So today, I'm going to be studying a little bit, and you're going to be listening to the reading as well, okay? And my face will not be in the video for once, so your eyes will be spared from my ugliness. So hopefully that will be okay. So today we're going to be reading the Complete Recovery Room book. The Complete Recovery Room book. Now, this isn't part of my recommended reading, but it has some useful things in it that are quite well explained. So here's the back. So it's all about. I'm going to quickly read this in an audible whisper for you because I'm sure you don't want to know too much about it. But yes, the care the patient receives in the first hours after surgery is crucially minimizing the risk of complications of myocardial infarction, pneumonia, and venous thrombosis. In spite of this, many hospitals still do not have formally organized recovery rooms. The Complete Recovery Room book is the definitive guide on how to establish, equip, staff, and administer this acute care unit. There have been many changes in anesthetic and surgical techniques in the 5 years since completion of the previous edition. Some of these changes enable patients to have their operation and be discharged on the same day, adding another dimension to the recovery as their safety and leaving optional comes back. Research into the pain mechanisms has allowed us better understanding of analgesics and more efficient methods of pain control. Pre-assessment clinics have reduced the numbers of unexpected problems arising post-operatively, but other dangers have emerged. There have been increased risk of diseases like HIV or hepatitis being transmitted. More recently, the problem of latex allergy has appeared. Within this edition, a detailed update of modern sterilization practice has been included. The third edition has been revised to take account of all of these changes and medical advances. It provides an essential practical source of reference that should be read by all anesthetists, operating staff, recovery room nurses, and everyone involved providing post-operative care. Now, I'm on my anesthetics blog, so this is very helpful, and we're going to open this book. I'm not going to read the preface because nobody has time for that. I'm not going to read the introduction because God knows that's boring. Let's read this page. I'll center it for you. Center it for you. So, the 2020 was a horrible year. The 20 golden rules. The 20 golden rules of the recovery room. Number one. The confused, restless, or agitated patient is hypoxic until proven otherwise. Hypoxic basically means that they're low on oxygen. Number two, peace sign, because the other way is flipping you off, and I'm sorry I didn't mean it that way. Number two. Your patient may be hypoxic even if the oximeter, so that's the thing that reads your oxygen saturation in your blood. It might be hypoxic even if that oximeter reads 98% saturated. 98%. for a second, but that's another point. Number four. The blood pressure does not necessarily fall in hemorrhagic shock. Hemorrhagic shock is basically when your body goes into shock from losing too much blood, bleeding. Number five, from my crusty hands that use hand sanitizer way too much. Number five, never ignore a tachycardia or bradycardia. Find the cause. Tachycardia is when your heart beats too fast. Bradycardia is when your heart beats too slow. Number six, post-operative hypertension. Post-operative hypertension is dangerous. Number seven, never ever use painful stimuli to rouse your patient. That means don't try and get their attention or get them awake or get to see if they're conscious by using a painful thing like pricking them with a needle or anything like that. Just call their name. Tap them. Just a little tap. Just a little tap. Just them away. Number 8, noisy breathing is obstructed breathing. However, not all obstructed breathing is noisy. That's quite scary, that one. Usually if they're breathing noisy, if you hear a wheeze or a crackle or anything like that, you know there's something there that's stopping them from breathing as perfectly. But sometimes if there's no noise from them, they still can have an obstruction. It just means that they're not breathing at all, or they're not breathing very well, or their breathing is so constricted and obstructed that they're only getting tiny bits through, tiny bits through. Number nine, nurse your patient on his side in the recovery position. I agree with that. Number 10, allow the patient to remove his own airway. Okay, if you say so. Number 11, if your patient is slow to wake up, consider hypothermia. Hypothermia is just low body temperature. 12, cuddle crying children. That sounds a bit sad that people wouldn't cuddle a crying child. I mean, I get now in COVID that you wouldn't cuddle a crying child necessarily because, restrictions and stuff, but if the child's crying, you should try and help them out. Number 13, the opioids do not cause hypertension in stable patients. Opioids are drugs that are used to treat very serious pain. Shouldn't be messed with because you can get addicted to them and they can have lots of side effects. Number 14, when giving drugs to the elderly, start by giving half as much, twice as slowly. I agree. They're just more frail, so you need to be extra careful. Number 15, if you don't know all the actions of a drug, then don't use it until you do. That's lovely. Number 16, treat the patient, not the monitor. That's important. I'm guilty of that. When a consultant asks me what's wrong with the patient, I just felt like it's very difficult to stay away from the stats and everything like that. And just look at the patient as a whole. 17, a patient with cold hands is hemodynamically unstable. That means there's problems with their circulation. 18, pain prevention is better than pain relief. That's true. Why would you want to be in pain at all? Unless you like pain, then you're a bit weird, okay? 19, do not discharge a patient until he can maintain a 15-second head lift. Okay, didn't know that one. Number 20, if confused, read rule number 1. That's cool. This is quite cool to know. So basically, whenever we see a patient, you always start doing your A to E assessment. I think that's like universal. It's universal. So A is for airway. Make sure the airway is clear and the patient is breathing and the air is moving freely and quietly in and out of the chest, If B is for breathing. B is for breathing. B is for breathing. C is for circulation, so blood pressure, perfusion status, things like that. D is for drugs, drips, drains, and dressings. And E is for extras. Measure the patient's temperature. It's essential for all babies and any patient who has had any major surgery. You have to check their temperature all the time. That's fine. That's fine. I'm trying to find something interesting for you to read. There's lots of stuff here. Go to the context page and I'll quickly read something that I need to go over. 11. Pain management 173. 173, 173, 173, 109, 113, 121, 123, 125, 127. 163, physiological pain. Number 11. Pain management. Pain in the recovery room is distressing and harmful. Emerging from anesthesia, the pain medication in agony is a horrible experience. The intensity of the pain can be mild, moderate, or severe, but once we attempt further analysis of the meanings of the words begin to fail us, enormous efforts have gone into devising various pain scales and clever means of assessing pain. Despite this, pain control is not difficult. If you want to know whether your patient's in pain, just ask him and believe what he says. Assuming his pronouns there, but whatever. Once you have established the patient is in pain, then treat it until they say they are comfortable. Pain is what the patient says hurts when the patient says hurts. Got it? Got that covered. Lovely. Let's end on something. Classification of opioids. Lovely. If you have used an opioid for analgesia, give supplemental oxygen. Got it. Here you go. Things that come with opioid use. Tolerance and addiction. Things that come with opioid use. Remember I said people can get addicted, so people can tolerate them, so the stronger ones and the weaker ones might not work because you've gotten used to it, and you might become addicted to them, and then opioids can make you itch a lot, and they can make it really difficult for you to pass urine, and they can cause so many other things as well. So what we'll do is we'll leave it there because I don't